defects or defect in lattice, right? Or you can say imperfections. So nobody is perfect, right? We are also not perfect, or any material in the universe is not perfect also, right? It may be crystalline materials. Basically, since we are metallurgists, we talk about crystalline materials, metals, alloys, ceramics, right? All are crystalline basically. Those are also not perfect. They contain some defect in it. And you have to remember, this lattice defect are very small. Very small means we cannot see through microscope. The defect which we can see under a microscope, that is optical microscope, are not lattice defects actually. Basically not their lattice defects. You have to use transmission electron microscope or scanning electron. Basically we have to use transmission electron microscope, which have very high resolution. Very high resolution. Anyways, we will not talk about that. We will talk about defects. So I'll talk about now the classification of lattice defect first. One dimensional or 1D, and second one is 2D, the third one is 3D, and I'll start with 0 better. 0D, 1D, 2D. So what is this exactly? We can classify the lattice defects on the basis of their dimension, how they are. So first one is 0 dimensional, 1 dimensional, 2 dimensional, and 4. Sorry, this is 3 dimensional defects. So defects are categorized on the basis of their dimensions, right? So this is called point defect. Anybody guess why this is point? Because the point do not have any dimension. It is a kind of small sphere, very tiny sphere kind of thing, right? So it is 0 dimensional, but there is no dimension. It is sphere and small, right? The 1 dimensional will be there. It will be a line. Very good. A line will be there. So that is called line defect, or it is also called linear defect. Some people call linear defect. So 1 dimensional defect are also linear defects. Similarly, 2 dimensional will be, any cases, it will be a surface. A surface. So this is surface defect. Finally, 3 dimensional means a volume will come, right? So this is volume defect. Anybody remember one defect I told you in earlier lecture? Grain boundary. You remember I talked about grain boundary in maybe 4th to 5th lecture, I remember. I talked about grain boundary characteristics. So grain boundary is one of the defects. Can you guess grain boundary comes under which defect? Grain boundary. GB means not Gautam Mehra, it is grain boundary. You have to remember. So grain boundary is a surface defect. Very good. And you can write also free surface. Free surface. Free surface is a defect. Suppose this is a metal, for example. This is not a metal, but imagine this is a metal. The free surface means the surface. This is a free surface. This is also a defect, because this material is not infinite one. It is getting ended up to this dimension. So this free surface is also a defect. So grain boundary is one defect. Free surface is a defect. You can write twin boundary, field boundary, and stacking fault. These are the defects, 2-dimensional defect or surface defects. Point defect example is, you can write vacancies. Vacancy is the example of point defect, and you can write interstitial. Interstitial. and this one. Light defect is the most important defect we have. Dislocation. We should study. Without dislocation, metallurgy is like incomplete. Let's talk about this dislocation later. So this is fine. And volume defect. Volume means it will be a bigger one, obviously. Inclusion. Inclusions. If you remember inclusions. Anybody remember an example of inclusion in steel? Foreign materials, but example? MNS. Manganese sulfide in steel is an inclusion. It will remain in a big shape and it is of a volume. So that's why it is a volume defect. It will be of big size. Volume means a larger size. It may be a sphere, it may be elongated, it may be anything, but it has a volume, bigger volume. That's why it is volume. Okay, anyways, you understood how we have classified the defects? But basically, this defect and this defect are like in case they are in the dimension of atomic level. Right, so small, right? But this defect is visible, inclusion easily. Anyway, so next is we'll talk about vacancy quickly. So topic is now point defect. The best example is vacancy. Okay, fine. How to draw it? You can draw it quickly. This is 1, 2, 3, 4. Suppose this is iron, atom, and this is the lattice. Just have a look what is the vacancy. Which one is the vacancy? Yeah, very good. It is visible. Vacancy is visible. So this is your right? That means if atom will be missing from a lattice position, right? Iron atoms are present in the iron lattice, but one iron atom is missing. So that part becomes vacancy. So what will be the definition? Simple definition. Vacant lattice site. Vacancy is nothing but it is a point defect, which is nothing but a vacant atomic site. Atom is missing from that position. Or missing atomic site you can write. Okay, it is nothing but a missing atomic site. So suppose I will delete this one now. What will happen? Again a vacancy will create it. I am creating a vacancy because atom is missing from that particular site. So can you imagine if atom will be missing, what will happen to the lattice? Lattice will remain as such or it will change its shape somewhat. Just imagine if suppose I want to draw like this. Okay, go. Here atom is there. What will happen to the atoms? Atom will remain as such or there is some changes? There is a huge difference now. Just have a look. This is not the equilibrium condition. Okay? So atom will come close. Atom will not get filled. It will come close. Because atoms always try to remain in an equilibrium position. If you remember, potential energy versus distance. You remember that graph? Potential energy versus distance. When atoms are very far, when they are coming closer, what will happen to the potential energy? It decreases, it goes to a minimum value. But if they are further close, again potential energy increases, if you remember. So atoms always try to remain in a equilibrium conditions. A particular distance should be maintained. It cannot be close, it cannot be far. So what will happen to the lattice? Can you imagine? These atoms, these atoms, they will become close. What will happen now? It is okay. And what happens to this atom? It will go like this. And what happens to these atoms? And what happens to this atom? This will also become close. It is okay now? The atoms will not fill there, right? There will be a vacant site, but the atoms will come close to one another. So what will happen to the lattice? Lattice will again distort it. Obviously, there is a distortion in the lattice surrounding a vacancy. But this kind of distortion is compression or tension? Compression or tension? Just have a look. It is tension. Like you are inserting carbon into a void, carbon size is big, carbon is pushing all the atoms of iron. That is compression. So this will be tension. Atoms are coming close. So this is a tension. You should remember. You should not be confused over there. I am talking about that area only. So that area will be in the tension now. There will be a tension strain field. Yeah. Okay, your question is how vacancy will form. Vacancy forms automatically. Like when we are solidifying the liquid, automatically when atoms are sitting, because atom will sit during solidification, because this is a crystalline materials. There should be a periodic order arrangement, right? They will orderly sit in the lattice sites. But if atom is not getting sit, it is missing. So it is a vacant site. It is automatically during solidification it will happen. And that question, his question is also very good. Suppose during solidification no vacancy is forming. How you can form vacancies? Vacancy also forms when you take the metal or alloy to a high temperature. So what will happen if you take the metal to a high temperature or alloy to a high temperature? Vibration will start, the atoms will vibrate, so one atom may escape out due to these vibrations. So that will remain a vacant site. That site will remain vacant. So that is vacancy. So you have to remember, the concentration of vacancy increases with increasing in the temperature of the alloy or metal. Suppose you are keeping metal at 50 degrees centigrade, now you are keeping metal at 1000 degrees centigrade, but that in solid state. So at 1000 degrees centigrade, the number of vacancy will be very high, but at 50 it will be less. At room temperature it will be less. So concentration of vacancy is proportional to the temperature. So that's why melting is happening. You understood why melting is happening now? Solid means there is a ordered arrangement. Liquid means there is a disorder. I have shown you now liquid structure of liquid. It is a random arrangement of atoms. There is no specific site. Any atom can sit anywhere, right? So that's why melting is happening. If you heat the metal to a high temperature, more vacancy will come. More vacancy will come. So finally the crystal will collapse. It will become a liquid. The atom position will be random, disordered. But this is the ordered arrangement, but there is a missing atomic site, that is a vacancy. Up to this it is clear, right? So what I mean to say is, surrounding a vacancy there will be a strain. And this strain is which kind of strain? Tension, not compression. If I will put a big atom here, what will happen? It will push all the atoms. So that will be maybe your compression. There will be a strain field. That strain field will be a compression one. It is pushing everyone, right? In other way, if I will put a small atom, what will happen? Again tension will be there. This big atom will push the small atom. Again tension will be there. It is okay? Anyways. So now, and there is a very interesting phenomenon, let me tell you. Acha, what is the meaning of equilibrium? Can you tell me? A system is in equilibrium. What it means? The variable will not change. The thermodynamic variables which define the system will not change. Suppose temperature will not change, pressure will not change. The state functions, they will not change, right? It is in equilibrium condition. This is one way to tell the equilibrium state of the system. That means the thermodynamic variables which define the system will not vary. That is equilibrium. If it will vary, it is not equilibrium, right? Anyways, but in another way I can say equilibrium condition means the system will have minimum free energy. Always the system want to have a minimum free energy, right? You start any reaction, they will finally reach to an equilibrium condition. You know this? Sir might have told you in thermodynamics. You start any reaction, reaction will start. Finally it will reach to an equilibrium condition where the system will have minimum free energy, G, right? So there is a very interesting fact. That means many people will thought that they think basically if you have a perfect crystal, that means there will be no vacancy. It will have a G value, free energy value, and you have a lattice where vacancy are there. So it will have a also G value. So which one will be minimum and which one will be maximum? Can you guess? You have a perfect lattice, there is no vacant side. You have a imperfect lattice, there is vacant side. Which one will be having less free energy and which one will be having more free energy?
So perfect will have less.
Perfect will have less free energy. Yeah, you are thinking like that, but no. The answer is the lattice will be having a minimum free energy when there will be certain concentration of vacancy will be present. If there is no vacancy, there is some G value. But when there is some vacant side, G value will decrease. It will decrease with increase in vacancy concentration. But it will reach to a minimum value. But if further there is an increase in vacancy concentration, again G value will rise. You understood my point? So G value decreases initially with increase in the vacancy concentration. It reaches to a minimum value. Where that means for a certain concentration of vacancy, there will be a minimum free energy. Right? But when the vacancy concentration will be more, again the G value will increase. That is non-equilibrium condition again. Right? So if you compare the free energy of a perfect crystal which do not contain any vacant side and with that of a crystal having a minimum number of vacancy, the crystal having minimum number of vacancy will have lower free energy. That's why people call this vacancy as a equilibrium defect. You can write. In fact, some people may ask this kind of question. Which defect out of 0-dimensional defect, 1-dimensional defect, 2-dimensional defect, 3-dimensional defect, which defects are equilibrium defects? So answer will be 0-dimensional defect, which is vacancy. So vacancy is an equilibrium defect, always. You understood my reason? Because if some amount of vacant site will be there, the crystal will have minimum free energy. That is the equilibrium condition.
So
Yes.
the crystal always try to attain a minimum energy. So the crystal will give up on your atom and it will create a vacuum.
Yes, that's why during solidification, automatically vacant site will be available. When you solidify any metal or alloy, if you carefully look at all the atoms, some atoms will be missing. Okay, now the question will be, if atom will be missing, where it will go? Where it will go? Just think of it. You have a lattice, all atoms are present now, and you are raising the temperature. When you raise the temperature, what I told? Concentration of vacancy increases, so atom will come out from the lattice position. Where it will go? If it is a polycrystalline material, where it will go? All the metals and alloys we are using are polycrystalline. Lot of grains will be there. It will go into grain boundary. Listen it carefully. The atom will come out from the lattice point. It may go into the grain boundary. Grain boundary can accommodate the atoms. That is one part. Anything else? It can go to the surface also. Obviously, where it can go? It go to the surface of the crystal. Like this. I have a lattice like this. I have a lattice like this. Suppose this atom is getting missing. Where it will go? It will go to this. A new bond will form between them. What is this? This is a surface? So this is a surface. This is a surface. This is a surface. This is a surface, right? So see, if something is missing, where it will go? It will go to somewhere. So it will come and sit on the surface. There will be a formation of bond at the surface. Or it can go to the grain boundary. If it is a polycrystalline material, it can go to the grain boundary. So when there will be a vacant site creation, the atoms will either migrate to the grain boundary or it can move to the surface. So this kind of concept will tell you why there is a volume expansion due to formation of vacancy. You understood my point? अगर वैकेंसी जनरेट हो रहा है तो तुम्हारा वॉल्यूम एक्सपेंशन होगा. क्यों? जस्ट हैव अ लुक. Check the initial volume and final volume. You understand my point? If more vacancy will form, suppose now this atom will get missing. It may go here, for example. There is a bond formation. You can check the initial volume and final volume. Initial volume was only this much, right? Final volume is, you can see the final volume. People may ask, right? If there is a creation of vacancy, what happened to the volume? The answer is the volume will increase. Why? Because the atom will move to the surface. There is an addition of volume to the surface. Yes or no? Any questions? It is okay? Okay, how volume expansion will take place? There is another reason of expansion of volume. If your bond length will increase, the volume will also expand. Just have a look. This is one. This is the initial bond length, right? And due to, you understand, when we heat the material, what happens? The solid get expanded, similar lattice will get expanded. How? The bond length will increase. Right? How the bond length will increase? This is the initial bond length. After heating, the bond length will be like this. Okay. Sorry. Just check the bond length. It has increased from the initial point. Yes or no? Right? So you have to remember the volume expansion will happen to the lattices or solids due to two things. One is due to creation of vacancy. If vacancy will create, the atoms will move to the surface. That will add the volume. Right? And second one is due to increasing the bond length. Bond length will increase. The atom will go far away from one another. Right? But bonding will be there. But it will get elongated. So volume will increase. You can check initial volume and final volume. How initial volume was and how final volume was.
सर वो वाला में जैसे हम लोग एटम अपना प्लेस छोड़ दे रहे हैं वैकेंसी या पर वगैरह तो उसमें तो बाकी सब एटम्स तो पास आने को ट्राई करेगा ना तो अगर वो पास आ गया तो
if you have lot of vacancies, what will happen? See, okay, your question is if atom will come closer, but volume is fixed. Okay, fine. Your question is already got this. Yeah, all atoms are present now. What is the volume? The volume is this much. This is the volume, initial volume, right? This atom is suppose getting missing. You are saying this will come close, this will come close, and this will come close, and this will come close. That's fine. I show you up to this. It doesn't mean I don't have other atoms. Just have a look. You can have a lot big size crystal. You understand my point? You can have atoms also here. You can have atoms also here. Right? Randomly a vacancy is found. So this may come close, but what happens to these atoms? They will not come close to a large extent. So your initial volume was this much, for example, and this atom will go and sit over here. Volume will increase. You understand my point? So if atom is moving to the surface, the volume will increase. But question is, if atoms will move to the grain boundary, the volume will not increase. Grain boundary is inside the material, not the surface. Okay. You can write one important line. This diffusion of vacancy helps in diffusion of atoms. Diffusion of vacancy helps in diffusion of atoms. And diffusion is very important phenomenon in metallurgy. Diffusion of vacancy helps in diffusion of atoms. See, there is a vacant site and this vacant site want to move here. Listen carefully. this vacant site want to move here. So what will happen? This will go over here and that is the vacant site. Right? Now this vacant site want to move here, for example. So what will happen? This will come over here. There is a vacancy. So if vacancy will move, atoms will move, and vacancy movement and atomic movement will be just opposite. Where vacancy will go, there is a vacant site, and that atom will come to that position. Right? So if you have lot of vacancies and they are moving, that means atom is also moving. So vacancy movement helps in the movement of the atoms, or it will help in the diffusion processes. Right? This is one of the advantages. Suppose you want to make a homogeneous material, right? So initially the material is inhomogeneity. There is an inhomogeneity in the material. Some composition is different, some composition is different. Now you rise the temperature. What will happen? Vacancy will generate and they will start moving. So now the atoms will move and the structure will become homogeneous. So you can remove inhomogeneity in composition by rising the temperature. Right? When you rise the temperature, vacancy will generate and vacancy will move. If vacancy will move, atoms will move, and finally you will have a homogeneous composition. You understood? So it is helpful for us, right? So diffusion of vacancy will help in the homogenization process. We can make a chemically homogenized material. The composition will remain same everywhere. It is okay. But these vacancy are also very bad for our materials. It will lead to failure. You can write. So vacancy are sometimes very important and vacancy are sometimes not good for our material. Or detrimental. Vacancies are sometimes detrimental. Vacancies are sometimes detrimental for our material property. Example you can write creep failure, CREEP, creep failure. And you have to go through what is creep and what is creep failure today. Go through the internet and just check what is creep and creep failure. So vacancy movement leads to creep failure of the material. The material will fail by creep. That is called creep failure. And advantage, you understand? Movement of vacancy helps in the homogenization of the material. The chemical composition will be same due to homogenization. Okay. Anyway. Yes. You have class.